Oh, good. I love this judgment day, honestly. I love this judgment day of the Orange Man regimes because at the end of the day, nobody ever valued what Black Americans were saying. When I said nobody, but the white folks, but the immigrants, as far as I'm concerned. In fact, to a lot of people of color, they do not really value what Black people are saying. So now reality is hitting everybody because Black Americans are withdrawing. These are the people that never valued Black Americans. These are the people that call Black Americans name. You call them single mom. You call them, oh, you do not have anything reasonable to offer. You call them that they are 100% lazy. Now the lazy people are now saying, we want to sit down. We want to watch. You that you're not lazy. You that you're good. You that you are okay. You want to do the battle. Go ahead. Let's just sit back and watch. Let's have our peace of mind. And now things is turning this way. Honestly, I want you to watch this video because these people that I stitched their video, they never lied. They said absolutely. They said the truth. They said what it is. In fact, they broke every single thing down. And I would love you guys to watch and let me know what you think. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking my videos, dropping commentaries, sharing my videos, joining my membership, and also dropping super thanks. I do not take you guys for granted. And for disclaimers, this is just for educational and entertainment purposes only, but with some spice of truth. Let's watch. I'll be back with commentaries and let me know what you think, babies.
It's comical watching these online internet activists fuck around and find out what happens when Black American people withdraw their support for your cause. It's comical being anti-Black and racist toward Black American people as though almost every single right or privilege that any non-white person in the United States has isn't because of the work and the actions and the movements of Black American people. It's comical thinking that's not the case. It's comical thinking that Black Americans aren't responsible for this push to support Palestine, to support the Palestinian liberation movement, to support a ceasefire, to support a trade embargo against Israel. It's comical thinking that it's white Americans supporting that and it's not Black Americans who've been making the most noise about that. It's comical. And before you jump in my comments or stitch or duet this video saying, oh, well, there are white leftists who support Palestine, the few white leftists who support Palestine are doing it because they're playing the oppression Olympics. This is a morality game for them, and whatever cause is the most popular is the one that they vocally support the most. They're still just as Islamophobic, they're still just as xenophobic, they're still just as racist as the next person. It's extremely comical how anti-Black, and specifically anti-Black Americans, so many foreign immigrant communities are here in the United States. And I say that as a person whose family is Jamaican, who was born abroad in Jamaica, and who is now a naturalized US citizen. The anti-Blackness from my own Jamaican family, who are otherwise Black by appearances, was comical. I had to school them on it real quick. But it's comical watching it come from other foreigners and watching it come from people of color. It's especially comical when you ask these super duper internet revolutionary leftists, well, in the upcoming US presidential election, what are our best options if we don't vote for Kamala Harris and Governor Walz from Minnesota? What other options do we have to defeat someone like Trump and get him the hell out of here permanently? Not what should be our other options, not what should be in a perfect world with more than a two-party system, not what the perfect world should look like. Here, now, in the moment, with the options and the power we have right here now, what do you suggest we do? It's comical when you ask that question, you just get blocked, you get reported, you get told that you're uninformed, you don't know what you're talking about, etc., etc. It's comical when you ask these same super duper internet leftist revolutionary armchair radicals, well, what do you have to say then to some people who've been interviewed in Gaza and Palestine who say that they hope that Kamala Harris wins the US presidential election because they know that with her in power, they stand a better chance of having a ceasefire than someone like Donald fucking Trump. And it's comical that their response to that is, well, those people in Gaza and in Palestine are uninformed. those people currently experiencing a genocide are uninformed about the genocide they're currently experiencing. Isn't that comical? It's also comical that when you try to also use your voice to speak up for what's happening in the Congo, in the Sudan, in Haiti, in Tigray, you're told, well, no, that's not the focus right now. The focus should instead be on Palestine, and keep Palestine's name out of your mouth if you're trying to speak on other issues at once, as though we're not all human being Homo sapiens with brains that can do more things at once, and I can do, I can blink my eyes and I can talk and walk at the same time. It's comical trying to draw attention away from causes that are surrounding Black people in Africa and in the Caribbean, and instead direct our voices elsewhere. It's comical being told how we should advocate and how we should speak up. It's really comical. I really think it's especially comical. And watching it from the perspective of a woman who comes from a foreign Black family that's from another country in the Black diaspora who currently lives here in the United States, I think especially it's hilarious. Foreigners who come to this country and bring all their anti-Blackness and try to absorb the racism of the white supremacist structure around or that exists in America, because they think maybe, put them on one rung higher than Black American people, you will fuck around and find out exactly how America operates. Because if there is one thing America dislikes more than a Black American person, is a foreign person who does not speak English. If there's one thing that American will distrust more than a Black American person who at least speaks English, is a foreigner, again, who does not speak English and who comes from a faraway land that is stereotyped as always being at war or in conflict or in poverty. Americans will close ranks real fucking quick. Black Americans and white Americans will close ranks on you so quick if you start talking out the side of your neck. And I need foreigners to learn that real quick. Accept that. And furthermore, to everyone saying, oh, well, Kamala is just as bad a Zionist as Trump. First of all, Trump is the one who instituted the Muslim ban. Did we forget that? Has that escaped us? That was just like recent memory. Do we not remember that? One. And two, with someone like Kamala in power, we can at least have a better chance, a better opportunity at having a ceasefire in place, at having women's rights restored, at having voting rights permanently protected, at having, affirmative action reinstated. What do you think Trump will do if he ever sees presidential power again? Exactly what do you think he will do, especially to brown people from the Middle East currently living in the United States? What do you think he will do? Quickly. Yes, Black Americans in particular are going to prioritize their own survival because we live here in America and we're Black in America. So yes, we're going to prioritize our domestic affairs, because if y'all want our voices and our support so fucking much, how are we supposed to fight and protest and boycott on behalf of you if someone like Trump is in power and has us back in chains? How exactly is that supposed to happen? And again, don't respond with, well, this is what the right wants. They want this division. They want this, or, this is in a perfect world, how it should be. No. We're not talking about shoulda, coulda, woulda. We're not talking about hypotheticals. This is real life right here, right now. And one thing foreign people eventually learn after so long is that here in America, white society and the overarching society will close ranks. They will put all racial differences aside. They will put behind the history of enslavement, Jim Crow, genocide against Native Americans. They will put all of that aside and close ranks when it comes to foreign individuals. They will do that so fucking quick, it'll leave your head spinning. And last but not least, on this lovely rant that I am currently ranting about your favorite bad bitch with a law degree, complaining and doing what I do best, whining. Okay, last but not fucking least, please do not forget that if it were not for the civil rights movement championed by Black American people, foreigners who come here to the United States will not enjoy the rights, the privileges, and the liberties that we can happily sing about now, without the advocacy and without the support of Black American people. The civil rights movement reformed all of the immigration laws in the United States so that the rest of us could come here and enjoy the same thing that Black Americans should have been able to enjoy as a result of being enslaved and building this country from the ground up. So if you want to talk mess and if you want to be anti-Black and racist, trying to catch yourself or call yourself white, well, at least I'm not Black, you will find out very quickly just how quickly this entire American system, politics, how they will redistrict stuff, they will close ranks on you so fucking quick. And I'm speaking from experience as a foreigner myself. Keep it cute. internet activists fuck around and find out what happens when Black American people withdraw their support. Stitching my own video because a bad bitch is never wrong. A bad bitch is never wrong. I'm like the fucking Chicago Bulls in the 1996 season. I'm on a run. If you have the attention span that I have, basically what I said in that video is that foreign people of color who immigrate to America and catch themselves trying to be wannabe white supremacists and cock-sucking masses 3-inch pink dick thinking that it's doing something for them, fuck around and find out what happens when Black American people withdraw their support for your cause. And in the wake of the 2024 US presidential election results, I'm watching that happen in live time. And I'm sorry, I'm enjoying it. I'm eating it up. Black American people who haven't purchased Starbucks or McDonald's in over a year are basically crashing the mobile apps for both of those franchises right now with how much they're repurchasing those items in the wake of the exit polls of who did and did not vote for Kamala Harris in the 2024 election. The Starbucks app crashed, I think, because so many people were just using it out of nowhere. Like all at once, it crashed. You see what happens? You see? And please do not come in my comments with your bullshit about this is not the time for that and you guys were never there for us anyway and we all need to come together now because now this really impacts all of us. The time to come together was in that motherfucking voting booth, little bitch. That was the time to come together. And you didn't want to do that because Kamala Harris is Black and is also a woman. Okay, the time to come together was when Kamala Harris, after meeting with Netanyahu, released a press statement stating that the loss of life in Palestine and in Gaza is completely and utterly unacceptable. And we are negotiating for a ceasefire in bucking up against even what Biden himself said he would do. That was the time to come together for that candidate. Instead, you either voted for stupid ass Jill Stein, who took your vote and your money and ran off into the sunset, or you voted for Trump, who in his first campaign, post-election speech, is saying the first thing he's going to do is round up Hamas supporters? You know that means you, right? Do you know that means you? Do you know you have 30 minutes? A bad bitch is never wrong. A bad bitch with a good synthetic beauty supply helmet wig is never wrong. And I am that bad bitch on today. Praise God. Also, fuck them ugly ass, stupid ass, fugazi ass, jabroni ass, blue bracelets of solidarity. That's that guilt eating you up, isn't it? No, fuck them blue bracelets. Shove it up your ass so far that it comes out your fucking throat. Fuck that. How about, forget the blue bracelet. Can you write me a check with some green money? Can you do that? That would be far more useful and helpful in the face of what is going to be some really costly tariffs and increased taxes on our goods and things like that. Can you do that instead? If not, keep your stupid ass blue bracelet. For all I know, that could just mean that you're quietly supporting Blue Lives Matter. Shut up. We needed the support in the booth. And in the booth, the only people who got active were Black people and surprisingly Jewish people. So shout out to Jewish people also as well. It bears repeating, and foreign people who come to America refuse to accept this fact. Black people and white people will be at each other's throats all the live long day until a foreign non-English speaking person walks in the room, and then all that shit goes out the fucking window. All of it. I promise you. As a foreign-born person myself, who is now a naturalized citizen, who was born to people who have been in America lawfully all these years, just in case anyone is looking for me. My father was a U.S. citizen. My mom was a lawful permanent resident prior to becoming a U.S. citizen. I used to go suck your ass, mother. But as a foreigner myself, I've seen it firsthand and I've experienced it firsthand. Black and white people in this country have an understanding of one another. They have a delicate equilibrium with one another, okay? And again, at each other's throats, at each other's necks, threatening this, that, and the next until a non-English speaking foreign person walks in the room. And if you don't believe me, if you dare to disagree with a bad bitch with a law degree in her helmet wig, I want you to take a long look back at how the country came together in the wake of the September 11th terrorist attacks. 9/11 really set some shit off for the entire world, Americans in particular, okay? Black and white people, prior to September 11th, 2001, Black and white people were at each other's throats over the George Bush election, the election between Bush and Gore and those missing Florida ballots, okay? I was a kid in elementary school, but I remember this, and I'm 32 years old now, so I know some of my fellow slightly older millennials definitely remember this for sure. Black and white people were at each other's throats up until Them September 11th attacks happened. And you know what happened? We closed ranks. Or excuse me, black and white, black American people and white American people closed ranks so fucking quickly. Oh my God. And that's exactly what's happening now. So fucking around and finding out is something I do not recommend for everyone because not everyone can handle it. Black American people and people of African descent in general are accustomed to living under white supremacy and colonialism and having to survive nonetheless and eke out a little itty bitty tiny whiff of a life. We're accustomed to that. The rest of y'all, I don't know what you guys are gonna do, but we'll be fine. Okay, you guys can go take them blue bracelets and all them marches and protests and stuff. I ain't doing it. Because when it came down to it, when it really mattered was in that voting booth. I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear about how they're so bad and how both parties were bad. Excuses, 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 excuses. So tell me how bad Trump is now compared to Harris and Biden. Tell me quickly. And that's another thing. You infighting, and that's the last thing I'm going to say about this today. You infighting liberals and infighting leftists and shit like that. You have a very skewed perception of the world. This is where your ivory towered theory and rhetoric falls by the wayside. Because the other side, our enemies, you know what they unite on? Hate and bigotry, but they unite. The rest of us over here have this false perception that everything in the world is supposed to be perfect, so that when we are trying to implement certain tasks and statutes and legislations, we have to have unanimous consensus. It has to be done perfectly, flawlessly. Our elected officials, our notable figures can be without flaw of any kind. Our legislation and our policies have to be without any flaw of any kind, are not allowed to have nuance, and are not allowed to take into account historical context, modern day context, gender and race context. We're not allowed to do those things. And that is how we failed. Too much infighting, too much disagreement. And the other side, by comparison, looks like the staid, not conservative necessarily, but predictable and stable option. Because at least they agree on their hate and bigotry. What exactly do Democrats agree on? I personally think it's time for some new Democratic leadership. As David Hogg on Twitter said, you know, we have corporate oligarchy masquerading as a party. I personally think we need to do away with some of these East Coast, West Coast Democrats who are caught up in theory and liberalism and never ever listen to their base. They always shit on their base in every single way possible. And we need to start putting people at the top who are like from the heartland of America. Like I live in the Midwest and I live in the Rust Belt that these liberals call the Midwest. We need to start putting more people like us at the top and in those leadership positions so we can become the establishment class, because y'all ivory towered Ivy League attending, born into generational intellectuals and shit. You may not be born into generational wealth, but they were born into generational intellectuals. Y'all argue too much. Things have to be far too perfect. Kamala was the perfect candidate. Jesus was perfect. And you know what they did to his ass? Think! But my point still stands. Foreign people of color coming to America, fuck around and find out exactly what the fuck happens when Black American people tell you to go fuck yourself. And now look at us.
What do y'all mean by this? Voting for Kamala wouldn't have ended ICE and would have only delayed what we are seeing with this administration. So do you think that Kamala would have sent thousands of people to a prison in El Salvador, a country they are not from, to be tortured and sexually abused? Not just El Salvador. This administration has sent immigrants to third countries they've never been to in their lives. These are real harms that people are facing. You think that Kamala would have done that? You think that Kamala would have done an illegal airstrike on Venezuela? Like, I want for y'all to really explain what you mean by this. Because it really does come across as though you do not care about the people who are actually being harmed by this administration. Oh, well, Kamala, this is just delaying the inevitable. Would you seriously say that with a straight face to the men who came here to seek asylum and were in return sent to a prison in El Salvador to be sexually assaulted? Would you tell them that with a straight face? Oh, well, you know, I know that the current administration did that to you, but if we had voted for the other lady, it really just would have delayed the inevitable. Like, do y'all think when you say things like this, what do y'all mean by this? Voting for
People that make this argument that there would have been no difference between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris would have been doing the exact same thing, or if Kamala Harris would have won, she would have delayed the inevitable. They're telling you a couple of things. One of the things that they're telling you is that they underestimated how bad Trump would be. They were wrong about Trump, and they underestimated how bad he would be. They didn't believe that he would do all of the things that he's doing now because he was president before, right? He was president from 2017 to 2021 when he left office after he attempted an insurrection, right? So they believed that he wouldn't be this bad, that Democrats were being hyperbolic, bringing up Project 2025. And now that they're seeing it coming to existence, they're like, oh, shit. Instead of them acknowledging and being adults and saying, you know, we acknowledge that we got it wrong this election cycle. We don't want to make this mistake again. They are pretending, and this is what they're doing, they're pretending that Kamala Harris would be doing the exact same thing. You see Hassan doing it, and a lot of online leftist outlets that are pretending, right, that Kamala Harris would be doing the exact same thing with no empirical evidence. And the reason why they know that that's bullshit because Joe Biden wasn't doing it. And Joe Biden is to the right of Kamala Harris on most of these issues. They know that that's bullshit, but they don't care. The other thing that they know, and the other point that people need to understand about these people, is the fact that they are pretending like delaying the inevitable is an argument that is a great argument to make. Oh, it's a great argument because all Kamala would be doing is delaying the inevitable. It's because it should show you the privilege that a lot of these people have. That they understand that no matter who's in power, they're going to be fine. So they can make that stupid fucking argument, that lazy argument about Kamala Harris not being any different from Donald Trump, and all she would have been doing is delaying the inevitable of what is currently happening now. So it wouldn't be happening, is what you're saying. If Kamala Harris was president, it wouldn't be happening because the argument is Kamala's election would have just delayed the inevitable. So it wouldn't be happening. And they get online so confident and make these stupid fucking arguments because they have an audience that follows them, that drops down into the comment section and makes stupid comments like this comment that this person admitted this content creator is responding to. The content creators, the large platforms like Hassan, like TYT, like all of these online leftist platforms, understand that they have an ill-informed, uneducated audience that will parrot their talking points about there being no difference between Democrats and Republicans because they understand, a lot of these people understand that no matter who's in power, they're going to be fine. So they can be that lazy with the way that they perpetuate the narratives around politics in this country. And they don't actually care about stopping the harm that's coming to marginalized communities. I wish people on the left would realize who these ops were that truly don't care about progress. And they are only trying to get a following so that they can monetize their platform. And
I'm really worried that World War III is coming. I'm really worried that Trump is out of control, that he's actually lost his mind, that he's gone senile, and he's going to ruin things for everybody, like the whole world, not just America, not just the countries that he's bombing, but the whole flipping world. And I don't think anyone understands how deep it is. We're watching on television screens as he bombs Venezuela. We've watched on as he bombed Yemen, Nigeria, Somalia, all these separate countries. And nobody's saying anything. Everybody's just getting on with their lives like nothing has changed. But now he's probably going to bomb Cuba and Colombia and Mexico. Then he'll probably move on to a whole different continent and start bombing the countries over there. Like, where does this end? And why are people not worried? Like, we've been advocating for the liberation of the Palestinians for over 2 years, and you'd be screaming at us, it does nothing to do with us, go back over there and do it. The world is about to implode. And you better start engaging with politics, and you better start understanding what happens abroad has an effect on you. Nothing is separate, it is all connected. And I will break down to you how all of these things are connected. So just start opening your eyes and understand that hiding and living your comfortable life is not going to save you.
Anyways, welcome back again, and thank you so much for watching to this point. And yes, you guys have literally seen that a lot of things went down, a lot of things were destroyed, a lot of things will never be recovered because Black Americans are withdrawing. They're not only withdrawing, they've withdrawn. They've withdrawn. You can check from different protests that has been happening. They have literally been sitting back and be like, you people should do what you know how to do. Because at the end of the day, Black Americans have literally not only suffered in the hands of every single person, but it is now more annoying that even in the hands of immigrants, that they have literally been able to help. So it is okay when Black Americans said the fresh air we are taking now, we do not want to involve ourselves with any single person. And I honestly understand that. And to be honest, when Black Americans were shouting, we're screaming, let's vote for Kamala. We know this country. We have been here. We're built it. We know every single thing that will literally happen later. Let's do this. A lot of folks were like, no, what do you people know? We want someone with a white skin. We want someone that has actually been president before. We want someone that literally understand our pains. We want someone that we make immigration, we make immigrants to be stable. And at the end of the day, you guys voted for the orange man. And after voting for the orange man, what is the reward? The reward is calling you illegal immigrants. The reward is bringing ICE to deport you to your destination. The reward, especially as a white person for you, is to send those people that has been your support system, that has literally stood for you to be able to feed. The reward is to send them back to their east, west, north, and south. And I so much love that the orange man is giving a lot of these white folks a wake-up call. You can check from the last part of my clip, the last woman that spoke, where she literally talked about every single thing that has been happening and how will people still fold their arms and still keep watching what the orange man is doing. Black Americans, if you're watching this video, please continue to keep your peace of mind. Continue to value yourself alone. Continue to understand that nobody has literally ever come true for you guys. Yeah, that's the honest truth. Nobody, every other person, every other race wants Black Americans to come true for them when they have issues. But when it's Black Americans' turn, you don't see them. In fact, even when Black Americans take out their time, patronize them, spend their money, their dollars on different things to ensure that, oh, immigrants are growing, immigrants are happy, a lot of immigrants will still come back ungrateful and still keep saying a lot of trash to Black Americans. So do you think I'm not so happy that Black Americans are buying their peace? You think I'm not so happy that Black Americans do not want to support any other person? You think I'm not so happy that Black Americans are withdrawing? Honestly, Sonia is happy. Yes, I'm happy because even my mom as well and my Black American dad, they need to have their peace. They need to take a chill pill and look and be like, it's not our fight, baby girl. Let them do what they know how to do best. But a lot of people are learning anyways. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do what, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking my videos, dropping commentaries, sharing my videos. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. Anyways, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. This video is for educational purpose and entertainment purpose with a lot of spice. Enjoy.